All right, Linda Vater was with us a little while ago, and I really love working with this woman because her story is so compelling. She didn't start out to be a professional gardener. She wasn't trying to impress. She was just living her life in Oklahoma with a passion for being outside and gardening. So what she would do is she would scour the countryside until she would find those little pieces, those little somethings that made her garden different than anybody else's. And then her neighbors would go, "Where did you get that? Where do I get one?" Well, when you're looking for the one-of-a-kinds, you can't find two. So what she started doing was creating copies, if you will, of those pieces that so many people were talking about, and people have been thrilled. These are her 8-inch metal plant stands by Linda, and they're priced at less than $20, $19.98. Even the most glorious of pots, which by the way, I happen to have, okay? This pot is coming up a little bit later on in this show with Linda. Even the most glorious of pots deserves a pedestal to be put upon. It also means less wear and tear on your deck. If you want that black choice, we have 600 remaining, that's it. In the galvanized, there's 1,200, and I think there is a third choice as well, but I want to go to QVC.com for that. It's called aged copper, and there's 750 of those. If you have not met this wonderful woman, let me introduce you to her via Skype from her home it's Oklahoma, right? What city in Oklahoma?
I'm in Oklahoma City.
Well, that makes perfect sense. It's good to have you back. Thank you, Linda.
Well, thank you. And I should say to rainy Oklahoma City, where I've got these gorgeous plant stands that really, Dana, they're almost like jewelry for the garden. Look at how they lend sparkle and stature to anything that you put on them. They really elevate the beauty of any kind of plant, in addition to the fact that they're just so functional. As you said, they can protect a surface, your deck. You can definitely use them inside, like I'm using them here on my table. But what I love about everything in my signature garden collection line is everything is multifunctional. So look at this. You can definitely use this out in the garden to elevate, give layering, that all important layering to all of your different plants. But look at this. You can also do that same layering if you're entertaining.
Nice.
If you want to use this on a banquette, if you are setting up a groaning board and you've got all sorts of different things on your tablescape, then this really just beautifies. And again, is that all important layering to your garden and really anything that you want to add dimension to, additional interest to, and additional elegance. And these do it in spades. This copper has been in all of the different products in my line extremely popular.
Yep.
It looks great in contemporary settings, and it looks almost like an antique.
Well, that's everything that you bring to us gives us a certain kind of an old world flair to it, you know, and I hate to say it, the good old days were the good old days. That's where they made things to last a lifetime. And they made things that even though they're simple, they were elegant. So all of this workmanship is done individually by hand. This material happens to be called cold rolled steel, and it's beautifully hand painted, but each one has to be made. And yet your price came in at under $20. If you want the black, that has been the most popular. We have right now fewer than 500 of these to go around. You then have the galvanized, and the galvanized, we've got a few more, about 1,100. If you want that antique copper that she is showing, there's now fewer than 700 of those. So there's lots of reasons to use these. A lot of us will put our potted plants directly on the wood of a deck. What pots have weep holes in the bottom, and what happens is you wind up either with a filthy ring on the deck or actually damaging the deck from water being constantly leveled onto the wood. By extending that up a little bit, you don't have that issue. Plus, bigger is better in the world of outdoor decorating right now. So when you elevate even the most gorgeous of pots by 8 more inches, it makes more of a statement. It's a bigger impact.
It absolutely is. And I think, all of our viewers out there, you will regret it if you only get one. I promise. I cannot have enough plant stands in my garden. I use them absolutely everywhere, on my patio, on my deck, within the garden beds, because I like that layering. I love the contours. I love this beautiful arch. I think it's so elegant without being overly frilly. It's got that just handsome appeal
Yeah.
that I think befits any style of garden.
And these are new. This is one of your newest creations. I'm so glad that I got to be the one that kicks it off, because I appreciate that. Linda, everything that you bring, and I mean this as the biggest of compliments, even without seeing the tag on it, I'm starting to recognize that it's you, that it's your impact. And that says a lot about what you bring to our gardens. So don't wait on these. The black has been the most popular, fewer than few 150. I've got a few more in the galvanized finish, but it's that antique copper is the one that really is difficult to find, and that's pretty too. So enjoy it. Now,
well, I couldn't agree more.
Thank you. Now, Linda, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, because you're coming up next. I do want to remind you of this, though, because we showed this a few minutes back. It has been hugely popular.